Have you heard that Facebook is dead or it's just too expensive to market on, or that maybe it's just not really worth it? Well, today we're going to talk about how we can grow our businesses with Facebook. So if you are joining me live on today, make sure you put hashtag live in the comment field. If you're watching via replay, hashtag replay so that we know that you were here watching with us. If you are joining us for the first time, I am Rashida Green. I am the founder and CEO of Get Right Coaching, the host of the Mompreneur HQ community, and the creator of the Digimompreneur Academy, where we help moms who are determined to find time, money, and location freedom to start, grow, and scale online businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. And we do that through coaching, content, and community, and now also the Digimompreneur Academy. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here with us. And let's get into today's topic, which is growing your business with Facebook, right? Facebook continues to be one of the most popular social networks with a user base of over 1 billion people, right? While that might be a humongous, staggering number, it also represents an incredible opportunity for entrepreneurs such as ourselves. You can use Facebook to grow your mailing list, build your business, and sell your products or service in a number of different ways. It all depends on which methods are right for you and your business and what type of community you want to build. So, as I mentioned, Facebook has a number of different ways that you can build your business. So that we're going to go ahead and talk about a number of those ways. And one of them is Facebook pages. Facebook pages boost your brand's awareness by establishing a Facebook page for your business. You are putting yourself and your business out there for people to find you in searches. It's become increasingly common for consumers and buyers to turn to social networks when they want to make a purchase. So they, for example, when an expectant mother is looking for the best crib recommendation, she might actually just ask for suggestions in a Facebook post. So if she's in a group or a mom's group or new mothers or any type of group regard with mothers in it, and she's expecting to be a mother, she might want to ask the mothers in those groups for their best tips and recommendations for everything under the sun. But in the example I gave, of course, was just about cribs. But if you have a Facebook group full of moms, you can ask anything related to moms, right? And all of these women or moms in this group can share their opinions. Savvy users may even tag their favorite brands in the comment section. And the expected mother could then go and see your Facebook page and may be more likely to select your crib model if it was a crib that you were selling, right? So you get these recommendations in the group, but in those recommendations, you can actually, depending on the group, you got to read the fine print. You may actually be able to promote your product and get a client from posting and sharing about your business. Now, of course, increased sales are just one potential benefit of having a Facebook page. But another reason to use Facebook pages is that it can lead to more reviews and testimonials. This leads, of course, to what researchers call social proof. And we want that social proof. If your brand has dozens of glowing reviews from real Facebook users, potential customers are more willing to take a chance on your product. They're more willing to say, well, if this many people really liked it, then maybe I should give it a try. And this is because they feel like there's less risk involved than if they found your site through a simple Google search or happenstance. So that social proof on your Facebook page can really help to bring you organic traffic. And some entrepreneurs think that since Facebook's organic reach has decreased, that there's no point in keeping your Facebook page active. But since Facebook pages can influence your sales, you'll want to stay up to date on your page and update or post frequently. Now, you can use a third party app to schedule your Facebook posts like Hootsuite, Buffer, or what have you. But just think about it. Facebook has an option for you to schedule your posts directly from your page. There's nothing wrong with you using these outside schedulers. I've used Content Studio and a couple of others, but it may sound unfair and it may just sound like business, right? If you use Facebook's built-in scheduler, you kind of get a bump, right? It's Facebook, it's their own product, Create Studio, it's their own product, and they want you to use it. So when you use it, then you get a better reach. And when you're scheduling content, you want to try to use a variety of formats such as images, video, text, polls. You can do, I think, Facebook stories, and reels and so forth. So, think about those different ways that you can use Facebook pages and establish that social proof. And when you can, as best as possible, make sure you're using some interactive content. Now, this is content that encourages fans and followers to engage with your brand, like a poll, for example. That would be a good example of interactive content. Now, you want to be careful though that when you're creating low value content merely to get engagement, that can be a problem. An example of low content value content is a post that reads, comment for yes, or comment I agree. In Facebook's algorithm, these posts are considered poor quality and may make the social media giant less likely to show your posts in user feeds. This is what they sometimes is called the algorithm, right? There's a Facebook algorithm, an Instagram algorithm, a YouTube algorithm. These are things that is systematically or computer generated algorithm that allows that shows your posts and your pages based on a number of different things. Some say, oh, it's based on engagement, it's based on the length of the post, it's based on whether it's a video. There are so many different ways, things that people say about this fictitious algorithm. But yeah, there is something that exists that picks up different things in the type of the digitally picks up digitally different things that are being said, communicated, even if you post something and the first response is from you or the first reply is from you. That can be considered a ding. Like, no, you don't want to do that. Even if you have to call your girlfriend on the phone, be like, hey, girl, I just posted something. Can you go ahead and like it for me and comment? Because, and I said like and comment, because liking it alone actually doesn't move the needle anywhere. That doesn't, just liking it doesn't get the algorithm to pick up and say, we're going to start showing this to more people. But if you like it and comment within the first couple of minutes of the post being shared, then the algorithm notices that something that just came up is already being shared. Well, maybe this is something good, or it's already being commented on. Well, maybe this is something we should share to other people. And so instead of it having a reach of 4 people, now it can get the reach of 10. And if 2 more people respond, you might be able to get a reach of 30. Those are just some fictitious numbers that I'm throwing out there. They're not correct or accurate. But the point is that with the Facebook posts, you want to make sure that they are of value and that they organically get responses, and you're not being the first one to reply, because the algorithm, if you will, kind of dings those things. Now, we were supposed to be talking about, being able to do good content on your page and not using cheesy low value content so that you don't get dinged by the Facebook peoples. So we want to make sure that you are putting out some good content that people are organically attracted to and respond to. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do with Facebook, another way to use Facebook to grow your business is to have Facebook group. Now, if you have been with me long enough, then you may have heard me say that Facebook group was not on my list. And then when my business coach said, okay, you got to go live in your group, I was like, no, I don't need to go live. No, I'm not going live. And I fought that thing for a good while. But now, if you are watching this, then you are part of the Mompreneur HQ community. And you are seeing me on this Mom Life show. And so I have listened to my coaches and I've done these things. And yes, it does build a community, and which is why I am always encouraging you all to share, to respond, to post, to give your tips and your ideas and your strategies. And when people have questions, answer those questions. Establish yourself in the group that is most certainly growing, and it's full of moms and mom entrepreneurs looking to build businesses. So if that is your potential audience, and you can most certainly use our sharing thread so that you can share about your business, or you can just simply respond to answers or questions, because we do a lot of posts in the group asking questions and this or that, or different polls, because we want you to be engaged. We want you to have this place where you can go to feel free to share and learn. And so we kind of make it a place where we're not necessarily always selling in our group, but we do want to make sure that you are comfortable and that you feel like you're part of the family. So that's one thing that you can do to establish it with Facebook to grow your business, and that is to establish a community, right? You can create a Facebook group. They're easy to set up, and these groups are different from regular Facebook pages in that they can be private or closed. Mompreneur HQ is a private group. We ask you to answer 3 questions before you are admitted to the group. And the groups are really not designed for selling, but the opportunity does tend to exist for sales opportunities. But that is not why the groups were designed originally. Now, that doesn't mean, as I mentioned, that you cannot sell in your groups. It just means that it wasn't originally designed that way, but you definitely can find clients inside groups, whether it's yours or others. And you should not ignore Facebook groups. I've been in a number of different groups, I think too many groups, but I definitely find that there are some groups that are just so active that I can't even keep up. And then there's some that are inactive and are still open and maybe only have one post every 17 years. There are some like that. But you want to be able to establish a group that will help you to build a community of people, passionate fans, and people who are eagerly ready to buy your products or services by harnessing the power of these Facebook groups. Some entrepreneurs start Facebook groups and excitedly post for a week or 2 weeks before quietly letting it die down. I can totally understand. Then they say that Facebook groups are not effective and wonder what went wrong. And I can tell you now, it's because of consistency. Another thing is that you must nurture your Facebook group. So just jumping in once a week, once a month, it doesn't really help to build that community. That means you have to have some regularly posting going on, some new content. Often the best posts are in the form of open-ended questions. So if you say, for example, you run a Facebook group for puppy training, then you might want to ask your members, what's the first command that you'd like to teach your puppy? Open-ended question that's going to get response. And just so you know, it's one thing that, I used to say, I don't remember where I got it from, but most people, opinions, that's what it is. Opinions are like armpits. Most people have two, and sometimes they stink, right? So armpits, opinions, sometimes they stink. But the gist of it is that most people don't mind sharing their opinion. If they have something to say, if you ask them a question and they will give you an answer, they will share with you their opinion. And them sharing an opinion opens up the dialogue within the community. So now we have more than one person talking or sharing. And it kind of, again, nurtures the community because you're having this open ended conversation that creates dialogue, and it gets people involved on a more social level versus a more professional, oh, I'm trying to sell you level. When building your Facebook group, you do not add members without their consent. right? So now they have the feature where you can invite people, and then it goes into their messenger or what have you, or their notifications, and they have the option of joining your group or not. It's the same thing with email. You cannot go and add someone to your email list. If they gave you their email, let's see, if they gave you to buy a product, buying that product doesn't automatically mean that they want you to email them your newsletter 2 times a week. Now, unless you have a button that clearly says or a statement that clearly says when you order with my company, you will automatically get signed up for a newsletter. If you disagree, check no, uncheck the checkbox or whatever the case may be. There should always be an option. There's not a forced situation where you're just going to make somebody a part of your newsletter or your email list. And the same thing goes with friends and family. Believe it or not, even though they're friends and family and you already have their email address, it does not give you permission to add them to your newsletter or other community or other marketing communications. You have to get their approval. And you can say, well, they can just unsubscribe. Certainly they can, which is going to mess with your metrics and numbers, but you don't want to get into a position where someone says that it was you illegally obtained their email address and then there's a lawsuit of some sort. People are frivolous, and even though they could just unsubscribe, it doesn't matter. If they can get a penny from you, they will try. So you do not want to add members to your group without their consent. This is a bad practice. And even though Facebook allows it in a way, like I said, you still now have the option. You've been invited, you have a 30-day free viewing session, but you are not automatically a part of that group. People can get very irritated with you and have that experience may leave bad taste in their mouths. And if it doesn't work out for them, they may make it bad on you. If they start bad mouthing you because they became a part of your group and they didn't want to. Another thing you can do to make sure you get members who are actually interested in your topic to join your community is to use Facebook's new member form. So that new member questionnaire, when potential members go to join your group, they'll be asked a series of questions that you create. This can be a wonderful opportunity to do more of your market research based on the type of questions that you ask. For example, with your puppy training group, you might ask potential members, what is the biggest struggle with training their pup? And their answers may spark new content and material for you and also show you exactly what solutions your community actually needs. And in with that also, I wanted to state that your questions, they give you 3. You can actually use those questions, as I mentioned, to dial in or hone in on what type of people are in your group and what their needs are. And you can do that by asking the right questions. So, if you're doing a lot of ads, for example, if you're doing ads and bringing people to your group through ads, one question that you might want to ask is, how did you find us? Or how did you come about this group? Right? Because you want to know if the ads really worked to get the people to the group. There's other ways on the front end to find that out, maybe use a bit.ly. So if they click on that particular link, it's from Facebook or whatever the case may be. You can name it yourself. But if you not that savvy and you don't know how to do these tracking pixels and all this other stuff, you can just simply ask, how did you find us? Facebook, YouTube, email, whatever, and they could select it. Another question that you could potentially ask is, as I mentioned about the struggle with the pups, sometimes it's easier, not easier, yeah, but sometimes it's easier to say struggle, but a new direction would be not to say struggle, but what can I help you with? What challenge are you facing now that you want to get resolved in the next 30 days? Or depending on what your program offers is. If you have a program that's a 6-month program, you can say, what would you like to get completed in the next 6 months, right? We're still thinking as the entrepreneur asking them questions that are relevant to help you to do some market research, right? So think about that. Now, if you're catching what I'm throwing at you, go ahead and put it in the comments below. We are still talking about how to use Facebook to grow your business. Now, again, as I mentioned, these questions can be great for market research. And so those are two sample questions. And then a third sample question would be not as plain as, if you want to be in on our email list, please sign up, or please give me your email address. Make it more appealing, more enticing by offering something. So we're offering a free 20-minute clarity call, because that's what we do at the Mompreneur HQ. So we're offering a free 20-minute clarity call. If you would like to get information about our clarity call, if you would like to get information about our products on marketing, if you would like to get more information about our upcoming sales and promotions, something to that effect, let them know why and then let them know what's in it for them. What are they going to get? What is the benefit of them giving you their email address? And it's not because you just want their email address so you can sell to them and promote to them. What can they get from it? Sharing their email address. So think about those things for those three questions that you're going to get, because those are going to be, again, some wonderful opportunities for you to get some market research and get some ideas on what you could be doing next with your business, or what products you could be creating that's going to help your ideal client to get further along in their journey. Another great thing about using Facebook groups is you can design the training areas. So they have the guides. If you teach people how to do a task using content, you can use Facebook guides within your group to organize your thoughts. So an example here would be, if you give your members branding tips, you can organize your tips into the guides based on whatever segments that you would like, right? So you might have a guide on fonts. You might have a guide on choosing your brand colors. And having these guides set up allows your members to be able to work through your content in a strategic, mapped out, step by step way and at their own pace. And it allows you to be able to position yourself as an authority on the topic. Now, with these guides, they can mark completed. That helps them to keep track of what they've done. And it helps you to see what people are actually participating in or engaging in as far as your map or your layout of your guides. Okay, so that's just another beautiful way that you can use Facebook. Now, we have these Facebook stories. You can definitely use Facebook stories. The short social media videos that business brands can post to Facebook. And this video content is becoming much like breathing, right? You're going to catch videos everywhere, every moment of the day, no matter what time. There are going to be some Facebook stories and reels just rolling every single moment. This very popular, and even platforms like TikTok just based on video, YouTube based on video, but Facebook stories, these are shorter stories. So now we have YouTube Shorts, right? So these are short stories that people use to be able to promote their businesses, and it becomes very popular. Minimal text and just images. There's really not much else to it. And this means that smart brands will want to post their stories more often, because now it's very easy. Some of them less than 60 seconds, less than 30 seconds, and still pack a punch and still get clients to buy. Fortunately, Facebook makes it so easy to do this. It's not hard to do. When you go to post your comment with an image, you can click the box to post the content to the news feed as well as to your stories. And this creates a short video or slideshow style video that can be viewed in the stories menu. So again, it's not really hard, not much of an extra step. It's just post. If you do anything with a video, you just click it, or a picture, you just click it and you can select to go to your news feed or your stories, and it just plays like it's a video. Nothing to it. You can even pick songs and theme music to go with it. It is so easy. So Facebook, like many other platforms, is giving priorities to stories over the types of content, stories and videos, right? That means that both the social media giant End users will be more likely to engage with and promote your updates if you use video. And if you're curious about what topics to cover in your stories, try doing something as simple as a behind the scenes look at your business or your product. This isn't about selling anything. Again, it's about showing your community the personality behind the brand. Another Facebook story you could do would be a brief set of tips that your audience might find useful. Whether it's 3 ways to do this, 5 ways to do that, 10 ways to get rid of this without doing that, whatever it is. Even if you're in the parenting niche, and then you can say 6 steps to swaddling your baby quickly. I mean, that would be appreciated in some mom in a mompreneur or a mom's group or community, right? You can also do a story where you answer common questions, your typical Q&A live, and get it. Yeah, so your typical Q&A or FAQs, frequently asked questions. There are so many different things that you can do using Facebook to grow your business. And so I want to make sure that you are aware. I hope that the information that I've shared with you today was very helpful, that you've taken plenty of notes. And if you forgot, guess what? You can catch the replay. Make sure you have your pen, pencil, and digital device to be able to take down these nuggets and start growing your Facebook. Start growing your business with Facebook. And if it was helpful to you, make sure you go ahead and put it in the comments so that we know what type of content you want to see. We definitely continue to pour into this community, continue to create products and provide content. And especially now with our Digimompreneur Academy, where we have all kind of private label rights and digital products that you can use to start your own business on Etsy or Shopify. Just so many things that we're doing for the Mompreneur HQ, and I don't want you to miss out on any of it. So make sure that you like our group, like, share, reply, comment. Make sure you're doing all those things, and make sure you turn on the notifications so that you are notified when we are in the group. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for today's topic of growing your business with Facebook. And until next time.